All right, then talent, I think we've touched on quite extensively, and we looked to our employees, and for us, CodeFest was really a showcase of our top employees who were willing to step up and to help drive innovation. And obviously, CodeFest is accelerated innovation through a sort of incentive competition type of environment. And it was fascinating to see, some employees, they really got it. They even took leave to come and attend CodeFest. They were our most engaged, and you can go and read the Harvard Business case study. We interviewed a lot of employees, and they really made it work for us. They really stepped up, and we just, again, created that environment. The management team of CodeFest, we stepped back and we said, guys, we're going to give you free coffee for the whole week, free Wi-Fi, everything else you need. If you want pink bean bags, if you want red bean bags, that's the environment that the organization and the management team can create. But within that, you've got to have the talent. You've got to have the willingness. You've got to have the individual. You can digitize as much as you want, but you still need the creative thinking, which machines have not yet been able to figure out. And we spoke again on Monday about how humans continually reinvent themselves. And so that's the space that you've got to be able to operate in. Understand what is your unique value proposition. How are you able to drive innovation and creativity in an organization? The rest of which is going to be digitized and automated and managed a lot more by machines and robots, and is going to displace and disrupt existing formal sector jobs and work opportunities. And that has been happening since the Luddites of the 1800s, and the cotton mills, and where they protested against that. I think what's become more prevalent is that it was very much in the blue collar world and the automation of factories, but now the knowledge workers, the lawyers, the accountants, even the doctors, anybody that is relying on information to look at patterns and diagnose or understand or predict things, machines are going to be able to do more and more of that. And that's where you get these cycles of creative destruction. And so yourselves, as you're thinking about how to position your careers and on into the future and the industries and the companies that you want to go and work for, you really need to think about what is the degree of digital transformation in that industry, and how can you, with your skills and your passion and your aspiration, come in and with your knowledge of digital transformation, help drive that digital transformation, help be at the front of that wave of change. And, as I said earlier, I'm in that team that drives digital transformation across FirstRand, and we've got 40,000 employees. Now, we want all 40,000 employees to evolve with us on this journey, and for us to be able to rebalance that workforce and retool and reskill that workforce so that absolutely every single person has a job and a future with us, because we're a family as FirstRand, and we want to look after absolutely everybody. But we recognize that digital transformation is going to happen at a talent level as well. And I give you a couple of examples in the course and in the CodeFest course about how Google and Facebook and others have approached this idea of talent, which is crucial. And as I said, I think engineering gives you the advantage. It gives you, so Jacques Saliers that I mentioned earlier, he's an engineer, and he's been very vocal in getting engineers in, because we've got that systems way of thinking about things, and we understand how things work and how things need to be optimized to work better. So I think, all the engineers that we've got on the call today, leverage that thinking and supplement that thinking and that training that you've had as an engineer with, webinars like today, courses like what I provided you, and that will all just build and give you the advantage over, other job seekers and other colleagues that you'll encounter in the workplace. Last thought on the webinar this afternoon for today, as we wrap up this 4-part series of webinars with University of Pretoria, is this idea of moving beyond the core. So banking has traditionally been, concentrated around financial products and services. But if we have the ecosystem, if we have the platform, if we have the innovative thinking, and we have a large customer base that already benefit from those things, and as we saw in that exponential curve that I talked about on Monday, there's nothing that stops you from adding in more value-adding products and services into that ecosystem. And Tinkoff, as I mentioned there, launched a super app which combines the traditional banking services with lifestyle and leisure. Now there's a value to the organization for doing that, as well as a value and an advantage to the customer, because those lifestyle and leisure services are, really just going to be origination channels for banking products and services. The reality is that customers, if we truly think about our customer experience, our customers don't wake up on a Sunday morning and decide to phone us for a home loan. Our customers wake up thinking about buying a new house, and they think about their life goals, and they think about their health, and they think about their fitness, and they think about their stress levels. And if you can bring in some of those lifestyle ideas and concepts and marketplace activities into your banking ecosystem, then as part of that interaction that those customers will have with you and with each other, there's usually going to be a financial aspect to it. And so we have this idea of utilitizing ourselves within our own ecosystem. So we never going to differentiate on payments, because a payment is a payment. A money transfer is a money transfer. An exchange traded fund is an exchange traded fund. The days of differentiating on marginal differences between products is over. That's just created complex for us internally. We have to differentiate on understanding our customers' life stage decisions, lifestyles, needs, wants, desires, interactions, and socially minded activities. And then as part of that, as I said right at the beginning, bank and support and finance, those activities. And like we've seen with our NAV money and our NAV car and our NAV home services, on the FNB app today, you can go and scan your vehicle license, and every year we will have your vehicle license delivered to your door. Okay, and I've done mine. It works absolutely brilliantly, and that just takes a little bit of friction out of your life. Yes, there's a fee for it, but we will go and arrange it, and we will make sure it's at your door. We'll even prompt you and remind you that you need to get it, because we've got the data of your vehicle license. Now, what that does for us is it gives us a pipeline of information about your vehicles in your garage, which we can then feed into our Westbank business to then offer you financing. And it's actually going to be even more useful and more contextual. It's not going to be marketing spam, because we know that your Toyota Hilux Bakkie that you bought 4 years ago is now got a book value which is actually going to rapidly deteriorate, and we'll offer you a trade-in for a new model, etc. So that lifestyle thinking and that ecosystem-minded approach to banking, I think, is something that's going to happen quickly and exponentially over the next few years.